Disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Go.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target, but it'll be second and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Corey Grant, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At the 26-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they got out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's 2nd down.
61. Matchbox lights. Hey, Charlie.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. His throw incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
You had to figure they'd try and get the ball to Julio early, and they did it right there. And it doesn't take a degree from MIT to know that, so you had to figure, what's up with the defense? You should know that that's coming right away.
Out. 36. Go.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. What a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campain. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hey, Foxtrot. Check 52. Get it.
Here's Minshew. He completes it to Jones. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Now. Check. Like 56. Ready?
Minshew, 1st and 10. This complete to Jones. That's a room to maneuver. 28 yards to gain there on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. If you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
It's got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Corey Grant, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Quick, 315. Mike, 45. Four down.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Wilson's got it complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Alert three.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
1st down, Seahawks.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Bradley Chubb has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end.
And the pressure gets to him again.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun is Minshew. It's caught. Nelson. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 21 yards. And the Falcons, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. Looking end zone for Jones. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Crew able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 57 yards. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Wilson. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 4.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Wilson now operating from the gun. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jadeveon Clowney, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
So 3rd and long, here's Minshew. Caught by Jones. A gain of 22.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is Grant. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
18 Gator. Tight as Ringo. Tight as on Ringo. 80 weapon. Go. Get it.
On 2nd and 12. Minshew. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Hey. Alpha. 3 out.
Minshew sets to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter.
Right. He's down right here. He's down on the right. Hey. We got 3. Hey. High 7. Who's that 84? Check 84. Kill. Shoot.
Looking to throw it. Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. After the sack here, 2nd and 11.
Check out route. Fair.
Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Go.
Now Minshew. Caught by Nelson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Complete to Jones. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flies. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Mike 54. Mike left. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. He's got a man complete. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use momentum to launch another one.
They run it with Carson, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal at the 5-yard line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, 0. 37's the mark. I'll go special. I'm coming after you. Hit him all. Watch twist. Spot that.
There's Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. But now it's 3rd and goal.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Well, they're going to try this thing. They're at the 5, 4th and goal. They're going to go for it. We'll see. Run, probably pass to both in the arsenal. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Looking downfield for Jones. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Oh, I think the Seahawks got it. They did. It's Seattle football.
Here we go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Touch 50, touch 50.
3rd and 14.
Go, 14. Got it.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That's excellent.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Yep. 6
On 2nd down, Minshew finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line.
Move 15. Check. Watch 54. Bring it.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is down to 28-10. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Hey, Delta.
And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Watch 81, fellas. Watch. Recon, 132 fighter. Check 15. Hey, Jack. Hey, Sam off. Check. Alert flare. Hey. Kill.
On first down, Grant. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball is not free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
25, check 25. Watch it. Bravo. Go. Shoot.
On second down and 4. Minshew. He completes it to Jones. 50 catches for him now on the year. He's got a first down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Minshew, 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Go.
Here's Minshew. This complete to Jones. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. You going to touch 6'6". Pull it high. You got that right there. Jack Nickel.
They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
80 weapon. Hey, Echo. Hey. Spike.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons push further out in front. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Wilson throwing again. He's going to air it out deep and got his man complete. So with a big gainer anyways, they'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down at the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
Flushed out right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now.
I didn't worry about double-checking it, but the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Get ready. Get ready. Switch.
Out of the gun is Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
218, chop it. Get it.
They go back to Grant, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off,
the ball comes out. And this will go out of bounds. And they're still short of the line to gain. So this is going to be a turnover on downs here. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Bang out. Bam. Alert.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, this complete to Lockett. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Right there, 54 Mike. Hey, we got to get to the ball, D. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Converge. Mike 5-4.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Left side complete to Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Watch the pass. Check. Crunch. 19. Slam.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Entry. Short. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, it's Minshew. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They run. Devontae Freeman. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down. Looking to throw it. Minshew. Jones has it. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Minshew. He completes it to Nelson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Minshew sets to throw, and finding the tight end Hooper. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? There goes Green. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A.J. Green with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will get him 1 closer. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. That one looks like he'll throw here. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Check, block 54, block 54.
Go. Ready?
Out of the gun now on third down. Gets it off to Freeman. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Complete to Jones. Jones hit and the ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
To throw is Wilson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game.
Let's go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's get that ball right here. Check. Lucky. Good quick. Hey, easy. Right there.
Here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A.J. Green with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get
Friday.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to get in for the 2 points. And that'll make this a 10-point game. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Julio Jones once again the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Atlanta, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.